All right, here we go. Are you ready? You are watching Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right and the left, well, the left is the left is always on the wrong side of history. Why? Because political minds want to know. So enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup. With tonight's top stories. Well, here we go again. Another grand jury decision sparks more protests and riots. This one in New York, in New York City, where a New York police officer gets no indictment charges from a grand jury decision not to indict him over another killing, this time over a strangulation charge. But it's getting more and more wild as Obama holds a meeting about the nation's police. But should that really be the focus here? I mean, the police are not really the problem. All right, and we will talk about that. And speaking of which, our nation's finest, at least in New York City, Mayor de Blasio sparks a controversy by throwing the NYPD under the bus. And Cassidy wins in Louisiana, giving the GOP 54 seats in the Senate. And guess who might run for president in 2016? Jeb Bush. We will talk about all this and more with you, the viewers, on tonight's episode. All right, my friends, hello. Welcome to another edition of Political Point Magazine. All right, my friends. Welcome. Yes, once again, we are in the midst here. Okay, now, as the situation gets more intense now. Okay, so we had the grand jury in Missouri not indicting Officer Wilson, who in turn ended up resigning because of death threats to the police. All right, and this is so ludicrously ridiculous. All right, and it brings up incident. Okay, now back in July there was an incident where an officer got into a squabble with another black guy, but this time the black guy was resisting arrest. Okay, now the over Eric Gardner. Okay, and this is quite interesting. All right. This is another case, okay, in which, okay, Eric Gardner, and that's, my friends. Here we go again, right here. All right, but this is the situation here. All right, but more protests spark in the wake here of lots of stuff going on here. Okay, so this is the situation here. As you can see here, the protests now have gotten a lot wider, and here's the situation. Okay, Eric Gardner, which you see here being apprehended by the New York City police in Manhattan there, and there was a struggle. The guy was resisting arrest, and the officer in the back the officer in the back that you see with his arms around him, there was a strangulation, and all of a sudden he got choked. Gardner was saying that he couldn't breathe. Okay. But and then the officer was named Daniel Donovan, okay, whom many Black Borough residents view with suspicion. Oh wait, no, that's not the officer's name. The district attorney Daniel Donovan. Okay, it's just a little. It's ruled that there. Now there was a panel. Okay, the panel's decision was condemned by everyone from former Mayor David Diggin and union leaders, Amnesty. But the whole thing is that this particular officer didn't get an indictment charge on him, and now that sparked even more controversy, because after the strangulation they tried to apprehend him, and yet but yet but yet they didn't indict him because they found no evidence of anything supposedly. But this is just getting out of hand here, okay? Because now there's protests in Florida, there's protests in L.A., there's protests in New York City, and all over the place, and it's getting out of control, and more businesses are being vandalized over this. It's not very, very good. It's not what we need to focus on. And the President Obama holds a meeting about the nation's police and treatment, and going more along the lines of wanting to retrain our nation's police over all of this. But I don't think that this is necessary. Okay, they're not focusing on the main issue here. Okay, the police are not the problem. Even Charles Barkley, okay, the basketball player, comes out and says that that it's not necessary to target our police, because if it weren't for our nation's police, if it weren't for the police, there'd be anarchy all over, and there'd be we need the police. Okay, the police are there to protect us. All right, but also in attendance in that meeting there. Right, and this is really, really scary here. Okay? Now, this was a meeting, okay? Now, a young Ferguson, Missouri activist, okay, if you look to the left of your picture, the person sitting next to Mayor de Blasio at this meeting here, if you look to the right here, okay, Al Sharpton was also in attendance there, but also sitting next to de Blasio there is a young Ferguson, Missouri activist who touted his peaceful protest as he sat next to Mayor de Blasio on a panel with President Obama earlier this week. Okay, but the thing is about that is this kid was charged with assault during last week. Was charged with assault last week after allegedly trying to shove his way into the St. Louis City Hall. That's right. This is Rasheen Eldridge, 22. He sat only 3 chairs away from President Obama during the meeting that allowed Ferguson activists to voice their concerns with top officials. All right. Now, and I also mentioned that also in attendance was Al Sharpton. Okay. And now this is just ridiculous. Al Sharpton. Why is President Obama allying himself with this race hustler? All right. Al Sharpton is not even, you can't even call him a reverend. He's disgusting. Okay? He's only using the racial hardship to make money, to benefit from it. Okay? Nobody benefits from Al Sharpton's company. All right? This guy is, when it comes to race relations, this guy is public enemy number 1. He's not even dealing with the main issues. All right? Because the main issues here are, okay, it all has to do with race relations. The police are not the problem, my friends. All right? The police are not the problem. Okay? It all has to do with, okay, now here's some statistics for you. Okay? Now, 99% of all the shootings of black people are committed by other black people. Okay? It's not the cops, and racism has nothing to do with it. Okay? Now, if you want to fix the question of interracial relations, okay, you have to deal with the family structure here. All right? Now, this is the solution here. All right? It all has to do with the breakdown of the family. When you have 72% of black babies born out of wedlock, that becomes a tremendous problem in the black community. All right? Okay. And now there's no stress on the family upbringing here. All right? You know, you have to look deep into it. When the fathers are not around, and then there's no one around to encourage safe and proper behavior. You know, I mean, it's, within the family structure here, and it's just, and then you have no one to, and no one no one's around to actually encourage the young black woman not to have you know sex, but I mean, I'm not saying that it's all the man or the woman's fault, for that matter, but there's a problem within the black community when you have a high percentage of black people getting killed by other black people. Okay, and the percentage of black people getting killed by police is substantially lower than the amount of black people getting killed by other black people. All right. Okay, the police are not the problem. If you abide by the law, all right, and if you have a decent education, also, okay, education is another part of the problem. All right. Okay. You have these broken families that are living in the system. All right. And the system's not helping them, by the way. All right. The system's not helping them to improve themselves. All right. And then you have the education system, where they went to school, what type of education that they got. And if you abide by the laws, abide by the rules, if you are a law-abiding citizen and you abide by the laws, you will have no problems with the cops. You will have no problems with the police. The police are not a problem. The police are there to protect us, to protect and serve. They have families just like everybody else. All right? They are just doing their jobs. All right? And which leads me to another story, another incident here, okay, which you guys need to pay attention to. This, my friends, okay. Now, I mentioned Mayor de Blasio, all right, in that meeting, right? Okay. But Mayor de Blasio has another situation here. All right. Now, in light of the New York City non-indictment of the police officer, okay, PBA chief Pat Lynch was in an outrage over Mayor de Blasio throwing the New York's finest, NYPD, under the bus, okay, by saying after the Eric Gardner decision that he and his wife had literally had to train their biracial son Dante to be weary around officers. All right. Now this is what Lynch said. Lynch said that that our city is safe because of the police officers. All right. Now, and this is another thing here. Okay, the NYPD's rank and file reacted with fury last week at being thrown under the bus by Mayor de Blasio. Mayor de Blasio has his is having his days, isn't he? First it was he was disrespectful in the situation of a memorial service, for people that died in a airplane flight. Okay. And he was tardy to that. and then he's disrespectful, and to New York's finest police officers by throwing them under the bus. You know, mind you, he has a biracial son. You know, and this is reflective of the way Democrats really think. All right, that if it were up to Democrats, now, there would be anarchy. They would allow anarchy, and the watering down of our police officers. All right. Okay. But you know, and supposedly this meeting was also supposed to be about race relations, right? But under President Barack Obama, race relations have there's a poll out that says race relations have worsened, have gotten worse under President Obama. All right. Now, and now there's also another thing. All right. But riots break out over all of this. All right. But first of all, also, so we've had the riots over the grand jury decision, okay, and now, but you know, first it was the you know, that hands up thing, you know, with the football players. All right, guess what? Now that has spread to Congress. All right, take the members of the Congressional Black Caucus, of the Black Congressional Caucus, took it to Congress. Take a look at this.
Don't shoot. Raise their hands.
This has become the new symbol.
We've come a long, long way from how we got here, but we have a long way to go.
America is better than this.
Being black in America, what Ferguson says about where we are and where we need to go.
A grand jury system is not a jury of your peers.
Now is the time for the federal government to act, for Congress to act.
The Congressional Black Caucus will not be silenced.
Injustice has no seat in our democratic institutions.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot? Come on now. This is just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous, my friends. All right? Now, you know, this is just ridiculous. All right? You know, in order to improve the situation, you have to improve the problem within the black community. All right? Okay? The police are not the problem, my friends. Okay? Now, our nation's finest here, all right? The police are not the problem, all right? They are here to protect us, all right? So, the main focus here should be that that we need to improve the race relations within the black community, all right? Because it's not going to be solved by targeting whites who you think are racist. All right, the race baiters and race hustlers, they're just out there just to make benefit and profit off the suffering of the interracial relations. It's not good. All right, now. So moving on here, all right. Moving on here. Okay. So moving on here. Okay. Oh, wait a minute here. Okay. So moving on here. There is a situation. There is something that I want to bring up here, because because we have now. You remember you remember the election victory of the election victory of the election victory of the GOP, right? So we retook the House, or we retook the Senate, and expanded our majorities in the House, right? But there is a victory now. There is a victory now but we needed to find out about Louisiana, right? Okay, so Louisiana now, that went into a runoff, right? Because none of the other candidates, it was between Cassidy and Landrieu, right? And Landrieu was trying to be desperate and attacking Cassidy, but now Cassidy wins, and I'm gonna put this now in my Political Point magazine's political points of vision. All right. Okay. Now, but this is truly fascinating. All right, truly fascinating here. All right, but the election, it went into the runoff, and now we finally know that on Saturday, Cassidy won, giving Louisiana a Republican for the Senate seat. All right. Now, before in all of this, Senator Mary Landrieu tried to attack Cassidy, and then she also tried to get a vote on the Keystone Pipeline, but that was only trying to show that she was only trying to show that she was the candidate that was for energy and whatnot and all that. But it didn't work because she didn't get a yes vote on the Keystone Pipeline. But the positive is that Cassidy now wins. Bill Cassidy wins for the GOP, giving the GOP 54 seats in the Senate. Right? That's right. 54 seats in the Senate. All right, yeah. Now, in order to win control of the Senate, they needed 7 seats. Okay? No, they needed a gain of 5 seats, 6 seats. Okay? And then but they gained 9 seats. Okay, so 9 seats. And now everything's all perking up very well now. All right, perking up very well. And so we are showing that the Republicans are now really fully in control. Now, so starting in January, we have the Republican-controlled Congress, both houses, all right, and we finally, much to the surprise of the Democrats, can get stuff done. All right, but here's the thing, though. Okay, we have to, with President Obama not allowing some stuff until President Obama said that he's going to veto some stuff. All right, but if he does that, he's gonna just poison the water. All right, he's just gonna poison the water even more, and it's not gonna. We're not gonna get stuff done. But on the positive note here, if he does veto some stuff coming from the Republicans, then we can override his veto. Okay. And so this means we can get tax reform. All right. We can simplify the nation's tax code. All right. And then, all right, simplify the nation's tax code. Yep. And then, yeah. And then we can approve the Keystone Pipeline. Get that done. All right. And hopefully get energy independent. Okay. And improve our national security. All right. Okay. Our immigration system needs to be improved as well. Okay. And also, oh my goodness, I almost forgot about this. Okay. We can also repeal, from the inside, by the way, Obamacare. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about this because there's a lot of Democrats now trying to distance themselves from Grouper, Professor Grouper, who called the American voter stupid. Okay, when it came to passing Obamacare. All right, but now Grouper actually is putting his foot deeper in his mouth now, because now he says that the Obamacare doesn't have to be openly repealed. Okay, it can be destroyed from the inside. Okay, he said that that we can just wait and just do nothing on it, you know, and just let it self-destruct itself. Yeah, he actually said that. So now, okay, now with with all of this going on here, all right, and we have Cassidy. You know, we also won in Alaska, and you know, and a lot of governorships. Now with this going on here, all right, there is another candidate. Okay, there is another candidate that on the GOP side, we're looking forward to 2016. That's right, 2016. All right, we are definitely looking forward to 2016. You know why? Because now, all right, take a look at this. All right, there is a candidate out there. Right, there is a candidate out there that many people really don't think of, that aren't thinking of lately. All right, and you'd be surprised, okay, because there's many people on the GOP side that are actively seeking to run for president, namely Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and then several other governors. However, the Governors Association actually said that the next president should be a governor. All right. So, but and I have said that governors make good presidents. They actually make better presidents. All right. Reagan was one of the greatest presidents we ever had. All right. But there's a guy on the GOP side that said, well, I'll let you I'll let you take a look. All right, and take a look at this. All right. Okay, so take a look at this. This is what. Okay, former Governor Jeb Bush is coming into the fray here. Okay, take a look at this. All right, here.
I'm thinking about running for president, and I'll make up my mind in short order. I don't know if I'd be a good candidate or a bad one. I kind of know how a Republican can win, whether it's me or somebody else, and it has to be much more uplifting, much more positive, much more willing to, to be practical now in Washington world, lose the primary to win the general without violating your principles.
Okay, so on this note, so Jeb Bush, brother of George W. Bush, son of George H.W. Bush, all right, is coming into the fray here. All right, he's thinking about it. He said he's gonna make his mind up sometime next year. All right, where we can come get this into the fray here now, but however, there is a lot riding on here. Okay, now I believe that Jeb Bush would make a good candidate. All right, he's been governor of a state. He's run the executive. He actually knows how business works, and Florida has done a lot of good under his leadership. All right, now mind you, we have lots of Republican governors now that are thinking about it as well. All right, like Bobby Jindal is another candidate out there that might put his hat in the ring. Yeah, I would like to see that. The first Republican Indian in the fray there. Indian American. All right. Now, that would be quite interesting. All right. Now, Louisiana is a state that which Bobby Jindal is the governor of, and Louisiana is a state where their economy is doing well because of his leadership. Okay. What Washington needs is leadership. Okay, and we are not. And based on the election results here, the voters have said, the voters are essentially saying that we have no leadership. We have had no leadership in Washington. Okay, no leadership. All right, and now with the Republican heat wave, with the Republicans now taking control of both houses of Congress and soon to be the White House, GOP control, we will get through these last 2 years of Obama, all right, because Obama has totally disgraced the whole situation. All right, he is a disgrace to the Democratic Party. He's a disgrace to democracy. He's making an end round around Congress, trying to do everything himself now, and he's violating the Constitution. We need leadership. We need to restore the Constitution. All right, we need to create jobs in this country, which, by the way, the economy reported that it did create 300,000 jobs last month, but I have a feeling most of those jobs are part-time, though. All right, so we have the most sluggish growth economic situation now because of Obama's policies, and what the election showed was it was a referendum on Barack Obama's policies. All right, and on that note, my friends. Okay, I am going to open it up to the phone lines, okay? Okay, it is December 8th, 2014. Okay, the number is 272-0319. All right. So, on that note, my friends, who do you think would make an excellent president for the coming years? Okay, for 2016, who do you think on the GOP side? Okay, I've been advocating Rand Paul, but it does come to mind here. Okay, now, all right. So while I'm waiting for calls here, all right, we will get into a lot here, but I wanted to bring up a lot of other things here, all right, that have come into the fray here, all right, now, but, all right, now, as I look and sift through here, all right, now, it's been quite the hassle here, all right, now, let's see, okay, on the protests and the riots that have sparked out here, okay, now, John Boehner, House Speaker, opened the door last week to congressional hearings on unanswered questions, he says, in the death of Michael Brown and Eric Gardner. All right. Now, he says there are a lot of unanswered questions that the Americans have, and frankly, I have, Boehner said, representative of Ohio. All right. Now, on the possibility, now Boehner said at an unrelated press conference that on the possibility of House inquiry into the cases, he said, I'm not going to rule them out. Okay, so that's his take on this thing. All right, but what is on your political mind, my friends? Okay, we need to get the record straight. And okay, now I mentioned that Obamacare is in ruins now. Right? It's not working, and it's very, very vastly unpopular. All right? It has a 37% approval rating. Okay? And it's like over 56 to over 70% of Americans now disapprove of Obamacare. All right, we had a better system. Before Obamacare was installed here. All right, now, so my friends, it comes to mind that that the American people were lied to, okay, under this government. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They lied to us about Benghazi. They lied about the IRS. You know, this is why I'm completely happy that the Republicans took control of Congress, House and Senate, and so now with that in mind, now we have the House. Okay, the House, as far as the House Oversight Committee, is now going to be chaired by Jason Chaffetz. Okay, and we're going to have a new, the House Ways and Means Committee now is going to be chaired by Paul Ryan. That's right, the Tax Writing Ways and Means Committee. Get that. Oh, man. So now we can really get the budget balanced. All right? Really take care of our tax system and make it better for everybody across the board. All right? Yep. Our national security is going to be better too. All right? So, we have and we all know that Mitch McConnell is going to be the Senate Majority Leader. And which, by the way, Obama had a meeting with him too, and I suppose they are drinking bourbon at that meeting there. Okay, but it is quite interesting. All right, but and so, my friends, let's get straight to business here. Okay, 272-0319 here. Okay, that is the number to call. All right, so 272-3835. Oh wait, no, 272-0319. Sorry about that. I keep on getting into the old number there. All right. But now, what are your thoughts? Who's out there? Who's listening? My gosh. Okay. Oh, while I got this on my mind, okay. Now, we're out there fighting terrorism, all right, and definitely we need to do something, okay, about ISIS, all right. But guess what? There is an unexpected ally, that has joined us in the fight against ISIS. Okay, now he's not usually our now this country is not usually our ally, but Iran is attacking ISIS. All right, now I've mentioned this previously. Okay, when we were fighting ISIS in Iraq, all right, because Iran has been attacking and killing ISIS in Iran or in Iraq, I mean, and now Iran, we didn't have a deal. We couldn't get a deal on nuclear proliferation, all right, with Iran, but Iran is somehow helping us fight this horrible enemy, all right, of which now I mentioned last week that Chuck Hagel is resigning from the defense secretary, and now that makes he's been through 3 defense secretaries. Obama has, okay. There was Panetta, there was Bill Gates, and then there was Hagel. Okay, so he's been through 3 defense secretaries in 6 years. Yeah, in 6 years. And so now, 6 years passed, okay, and the 6 years passed, and now Obama has nominated
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
Nominated this guy, Josh Earnest, or John Earnest, as defense secretary. Okay, Earnest. Okay, but this guy is his nomination now for defense secretary. Now, he is respected amongst both parties. All right. Now, mind you, though, it is that. Mind you, though, it's Ashton Carter. Okay, Ashton Carter is his name, actually. Okay, so Ashton Carter is Obama's nomination to be Defense Secretary. All right, that's right. Okay, but and so we shall see if he gets the actual nomination. It's not, because he is respected by both parties. Okay, so he may just pass. Okay, he may just pass. All right, and so, my friends, that we are taking it down to the wire here. All right, so okay, I do want to get this all in there, but who is out there? 272-3835. Okay, wait, 272-0319. Is anybody out there? Okay. All right, my friends, come on, 272. All right, now 272-0319. I got limited time coming down to the wire here. All right. Okay, limited time coming down to the wire here. All right. Okay. All right, I think we'll just take it down to the last words of the night. Then. Okay. Ain't nobody call it in yet. All right. So I'll just take it down. All right. Okay. All right. Yep. So I'm trying to find this clip here. All right. And yep. So I'm trying to find this clip here, and so I'm gonna take it down to the last words of the night. All right. All right. It's time to start thinking about Christmas. All right. But okay. It's time to start thinking about Christmas, my friends. Okay. And as the world turns and we make it all happen, all right. But Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat, and my favorite time of year. All right. So it's time to start thinking about getting your Christmas gifts and giving your Christmas gifts out there. All right. And that, my friends, is the last words of the night. All right. But we thank you for watching Political Point Magazine, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. All right. Follow me on Twitter at WilliamMitro2, and also catch us on YouTube. All right. All right. Thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history.